Okay, everyone, welcome to the intellectual saviors of wrestling. It's currently 20 to 3 in the morning, so I hope you people are up, or not. We are your hosts. We have the master of the brain damage, Mr. Martin.
Hello.
And the one and the only, Sam H. Now, this is the first installment of the finishing touch. We're going to be looking at the ending of an iconic match, WrestleMania 30, the ending of the streak. Now, the build-up to this match, basically, as you know, streak matches. Many superstars tried to beat it. To be honest, I didn't think Brock was going to do it.
No. In all honesty, we all thought it was going to be one of those things that would never end. But lo and behold, that time has been and come.
The story leading up to this match was Brock was angry that he wasn't in the main event at WrestleMania 30. They gave him an open contract to fight anyone he wanted, and the Undertaker was the one who signed it. Now, of course, the ending of this match, well known, the ending of the streak, completely stunned the audience into silence.
Yeah, just a tad. I mean, we're all very familiar with the one guy in the crowd with the hugely glaring eyes in disbelief.
Yeah, he was shocked.
Yeah, I mean, well, even us ourselves, I remember sitting at my house watching it, and I don't think anybody spoke for about 5 minutes.
I don't think I said another thing for the rest of the night.
I think you're right.
Shocked me that much. But, what do you think? Ending of the match, long term, was it the right decision?
Well, I get the argument that a lot of people have been saying that at timing and everything, that in all honesty, who is there that was going to break it other than Brock? I don't believe there was anyone else that you could legitimately sit there and think, yeah, okay, he may have a chance. But at the same time, I think as much as we still look forward to the matches, it has definitely downgraded the Undertaker's future matches at WrestleMania because they're meaningless at the end of the day because he's not fighting for the streak.
I think the streak was his one major thing because he wasn't a wrestler who won numerous world titles, but he always had the streak.
Yeah, that was his thing.
And like you say, it's pretty much rendered all of his matches meaningless because we're 2 years on now. He's had another 2 matches. The Bray Wyatt match definitely could have used the streak.
Yeah, and yeah.
And I think it definitely would have added a lot more to the Shane McMahon one.
Yeah, I mean, overall, Shane's match with The Undertaker was decent, but it would have had a bit more legitimacy if the streak had still been on the line. People were umming and ahhing because it was for the control of Monday Night Raw, but then obviously, as we now know, that played no part in it in the end because he ended up taking over for a few weeks anyway.
But no, the end of the streak was something I didn't think should have happened. I think The Undertaker should have been allowed to retire with it. And I think if they were going to break it and give it to anyone, it shouldn't have been given to a guy who only wrestles 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah, I mean, this is a constant issue that we've got with Brock only being a part-time wrestler. People will have a moan about it, saying he's only a part-time wrestler. Why is he doing this? And obviously, he had his title reign as well that some people didn't agree with. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, regardless of people's personal feelings, Brock's a huge name and a huge attraction. And at the end of the day, when he's coming in and fighting other wrestlers, 9 times out of 10, they're not really legitimate contenders for him. So,
No.
as much as people don't like it, it's a case of, Brock shouldn't be losing to these people anyway.
It's true. I mean, Vince said it in the Stone Cold podcast. A few people have watched it, that he made the decision to end the streak because he needed Brock built up for the next year's WrestleMania. Now, in my opinion, I think that Brock could have lost to The Undertaker, and it wouldn't have made a damn difference, not at WrestleMania. Because if you look at the SummerSlam rematch, that ending would have worked perfectly in the WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
You remember the one with Brock passing out, and he gave him the middle finger as he was passing out, saying, "No, I'm not tapping. You've won this match, but you haven't won the war."
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that one. Yeah, it's just, still slightly shocking even to this day that the streak ended, but, this is what's happened, and unfortunately, it's just something people have got to deal with or put up with, however you want to word it. But I think I do remember Brock saying in his podcast with Austin that Undertaker sort of did go along, agree with it, and agreed that the streak should end. But unfortunately, we've never had any official word from him, and we're also about, I think, a year has passed by since it was announced that Undertaker was going to be doing a podcast with Austin, and it just simply hasn't happened.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be saving it for WrestleMania.
It would have made the most sense.
But no, still we've had nothing yet. And I would like to get his official word on it.
Yeah, because I believe as well, weren't we meant to be getting a Sting one as well?
Yeah, Sting was supposed to be happening.
Yeah, so I don't know what reason why the Undertaker one hasn't happened, because I'm pretty sure it'd be pretty high on people's lists, and we'd all be very interested to see on his views on certain subjects and talking about his career and what he sees for the future.
But tell us your views on it. Do you feel the streak should have been broken? Do you think Lesnar was the man to do it? Were you even in attendance that night?
I don't think it should have ended personally, but I do agree with the wrestler who broke it. In all honesty, the majority of his previous opponents, they've not genuinely been serious contenders, especially some of the matches that don't really like us to forget, like Giant Gonzalez.
Oh, well, terrible.
Yeah. And then the one they don't like to talk about because of the slightly dodgy ending, the Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 15, where The Undertaker and the Brood hung Big Boss Man from the cell.
Ew. They wouldn't be able to do that in this day and age.
Oh, no. Can't have anything like that in the PG era.
But, so, yeah, the finishing touch. Should Undertaker have lost it? Should it have been the Brock? Should they have saved it for a couple years down the line? Would a new superstar have benefited from that rub even more? Did Lesnar really need it?
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed this at points over the last couple of years. I mean, you could make the argument that Lesnar didn't necessarily need to break the streak, but going along with your statement there about maybe some of the younger guys would have benefited more from breaking. I mean, obviously, I think the if you go to the year after when he fought Bray, I genuinely think that would have done a humongous amount of good for Bray's career if he had done it. But unfortunately, he's been pretty much buried the last 2 or 3 years at WrestleMania.
It's true.
And most of it has been to non-wrestlers.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the way I feel, I mean, the one thing I will agree with what Lesnar said is, I mean, the person who broke the streak was always going to be hated for it for the rest of their career. And Lesnar, well, the thing I respect about him is he just doesn't care.
No.
Whether people hate him or not.
No, Brock does what Brock wants to do, and if you don't like it, tough.
I mean, he lives in a house he built himself in the Minnesota mountains.
Yeah, and he's got it fenced off and everything. He likes to keep to himself and his family.
So that's the one thing I will agree with him on. I mean, it's not going to matter to him one bit whether someone hates him or not. Whereas one of the other superstars, like a Bray, a Triple H, or a Ric Flair, they wouldn't have been able to live with that amount of criticism for the rest of their career.
Yeah. I mean, possibly Triple H would have been alright considering the not so much controversies he's had throughout his career, but the negative heat he's had. Obviously, he had the infamous moment when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash left, and he took all the heat for that. And then of course, when he ended up getting together, marrying his wife, and loads of fans heavily criticised him and said he deserved none of the accolades that he had got. He basically married into the business and got it only because of that.
But Triple H has said on occasions that he had too much respect to win the streak. Being a businessman, he all pushed for it to continue. Hence why he's the only member of the streak to be on it 3 times and have 3 losses.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, you've got Shawn Michaels on there twice, and then Kane's been on there twice. I'm not sure. I don't think anyone else has appeared on there twice.
No, it's the only 3 so far.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a hot topic for many years, though. I feel some people are going to agree with it, others aren't. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think it maybe should have been kept for when he was deciding to hang his boots up and retire.
Yeah, I think the streak match ending should have been his final match, even if it had to end. Because, I mean, personally, I think he should have retired unbeaten, with that being his achievement. Because, like I say, he didn't have numerous title runs. He's not a double-figure world champion. He hasn't had multiple single title runs. Never won the Intercontinental or the US, the European. That was his accomplishment. And I think that should have stayed with him.
Yeah, and obviously, plus as well, for whatever reasons you had as well, when the Undertaker lost to Brock, he didn't look good. He looked old. He looked tired and a little bit rusty and that. And ever since that match, when he's come back for the next WrestleManias and that, he's come back and he seems to be getting stronger and better every year, as crazy as it sounds, considering the guy's now 51.
Yeah. So, tell us your thoughts on it. If you're listening to this, did you agree with it? Was Brock the right guy? Put your comments in the section below. We look forward to hearing from you. Maybe you were in attendance that night. I'd love to hear from someone who was actually in the crowd at WrestleMania 30. Because it was a really weird ending. Because he pinned him and it sort of stopped for a while. They didn't announce it straight away.
No, it was,
It was all left in quiet to let it sink in.
yeah, and that was it. And for a lot of people, it didn't sink in for quite a while. Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting subject and a good one to start off with.
I know we've got plenty more interesting topics coming up on the finishing touch. Subscribe for all the latest content to get released. And from your host, the master of the brain damage,
Martin.
and I am the one and only Sam H. And we will see you next time. Peace out.